Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So, slight change in pace today. In fact, today we're not going to be talking about business. We're not going to be talking about selling on Amazon. We're not going to be talking about motivation or how to find a product or pay-per-click advertising or any of that stuff. In fact, today we're going to be talking about video games. So, why would I make a video about video games of all things when I usually post about business, etc, etc, etc? Well, here's the thing. When you have a business and when it's your main source of income, i.e. once you've grown it, right, and you've quit your job and you've left your job behind and you're focusing mainly on the business now, it becomes really, really important to have something else to focus on other than just the business. I think it's really important to have some kind of hobby, right? Something that fulfills you, energizes you, and it can give you a bit of instant gratification alongside your business. Now, you might be watching this thinking, well, I haven't even started my Amazon business yet, or, you know, the sales are so low right now that I can't even think about quitting my job just yet. Well, here's the thing, you're going to get there at some point. So it's good to know this stuff anyway, and if you like video games, then you might enjoy this video. So, I play video games quite a lot, actually, and the best thing about them for me is that it enables me to just completely switch off. I can just focus 100% on the game, entertainment, the story, etc. And all of a sudden, my brain doesn't have to do too much work. Because when you have a business, it's kind of like having a baby, right? You're thinking about it day, night, you're dreaming about it, you're thinking about it constantly, right? And your brain just sometimes goes into overload because you have such an obsession with your business. This is how people become successful. It's by obsessing over the business. That's why in yesterday's video I was talking about how, you know, you shouldn't be thinking, should I spend 5 hours a week on my business or 10 hours a week on my business? You should be focusing more on falling in love with your business, so, you know, you don't count the hours you put in, because it's kind of not the point. Like, this isn't a job, right? It should be fun, you should be enjoying it. And therefore, who cares how many hours you put in? You put in as many hours as you need to get the stuff done, to progress to the next level, to make enough cash to do what you want to do. Right? So when you do that, it becomes an obsession, and you're thinking about it constantly. So you do need a break. So this is why I play video games. I play video games on the weekends sometimes, the evenings, when I've done all the tasks for the day, I might play some games. And, you know, if I'm not going out or something, then I'll switch on the PS4. So, 2 of my favourite video games in 2019. I wanted to talk about these just because I think they're incredible. And if you have a PS4, if you're playing games, then I think you should try these out as well. So, number 1. Days Gone. Can you see that? Hopefully you can kind of make out the cover there. So this is a PS4 exclusive, right? You can only get this game on PlayStation. And why do I love it so much? Well, there's a few things about this game which are incredible, like really, really, really well done. And in fact, before we even get to that, this game was completely obliterated by the critics. And I think it's criminal that it was so obliterated, right? It is criminal because the storyline, the characters, and the gameplay, some of the best I've seen in any game, full stop, right? I mean, it's just incredible. I don't think there's been as good writing in a game as there was in Days Gone, right? Really, really incredible. The main character, Deacon St. John, is like just a really perfect hero, right? What's the term for it? Reluctant hero, right? Like Han Solo and like Spider-Man, like all these people that in stories who are kind of reluctantly put into a position where they have to save the day, right? That's the role he takes. So it's a zombie game, right? It's an open world shooter, which is my favourite type of game anyway. And yeah, if you haven't picked it up yet, I would definitely recommend it. Ignore the reviews. They talk about a lot of the glitches and bugs that happened when the game was released on day one. All of those glitches and bugs have now been fixed. There's ridiculous amount of playtime. The gameplay is incredible. The gunplay is amazing, and it feels really gritty and real, which is what I like. Clearing out hordes, like in the beginning, you suck, right? You are rubbish. Your guns aren't very powerful. It's very difficult to take down even 2 or 3 zombies. And as you progress, before you know it, you're taking out literally thousands of them, and it's really really rewarding. Also, you get this bike, which is your bike, and you modify it, you improve it, you become pretty attached to it, and it's a really interesting system where, like, you can't just be somewhere and then have your bike spawn. You actually have to remember where you left it, right? So if you leave your bike on one side of the map, then you have to go find it. Adds another element to the game, which is pretty interesting. So that's definitely one to pick up. Second game of 2019. I don't know if it was released in 2019 or maybe the year before. Anyway, it was my favourite game of last year. Was Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now I think this is on lots of platforms. I think you can get it on PC, Xbox. I played it on PlayStation. And just another amazing example of a game, right? So this, again, open world game. It's my favourite genre. You play Henry, who's like basically a peasant. And one of the best things about this game, aside from the incredible story, incredible characters, incredible writing, is the fact that in the beginning you are useless. I mean, really useless. I mean, one of the things that you see first of all is Henry's dad getting so annoyed with him because he always wakes up late and he's always drinking, going out to bars. And, you know, he's not your typical highly skilled character that you see in a lot of games. Like, I don't know if you play like The Witcher or if you play Mass Effect or any other video games. Usually when you start, you're like a very talented, capable person and you just get better. Well, in the beginning of Kingdom Come Deliverance, you start off as a completely useless character. In fact, one of the first missions is just called Run, because you're so rubbish, you can't even fight the enemies who are coming towards you, so you have to just run, right? And that's a perfect example of how useless you are. And yet, as you progress through the game, obviously, you build up your skills, you become way better at, you know, archery, sword fighting, you can use long swords, short swords, defense, blocking. There's a real kind of active skill-based combat system where you actually have to learn how to fight. And as you become better, it feels so rewarding because you're always reminded of just how rubbish you were in the beginning, right? So you get this incredible feeling of progression. And that's why I think this game is so rewarding. So look, this is why I play games, because, you know, in business we want things to progress really fast. We want to be earning 10 grand a month within the next few months, right? For me, it's like I want to be at 300k a month. Like, that's my goal at the moment. I want to get there, but it's not going to happen, you know, next week. I have to be patient, and with my ADHD brain, obviously, I suck at being patient. So while your business is growing and while you're waiting for things to happen and while, you know, on a certain day you might have put in all the energy you need to put in and the business is growing, you can get your instant gratification needs from video games, right? Within a couple of weeks, you can turn from someone who absolutely sucks as a peasant into like a hero, right, within a game, and it's just a really nice experience. So whether you play games or not, I think once you run your business full time, definitely get a hobby, something you can do other than the business, right? Otherwise you'll turn slightly crazy and become a little bit too obsessed with it. Have something else to focus on, doesn't matter what it is. It could be golf, sports, it could be, I don't know, making models out of matchsticks, doesn't matter, right? But find something that you're passionate about, and so you can just take your mind off things. Also, interestingly enough, I come up with some of my best ideas when I'm not focusing on my business, when I'm just playing games and relaxing. that's when I come up with ideas, because I think it gives your subconscious mind a little bit of time to breathe. Like when you're actively trying to think of ideas with your conscious mind, sometimes you can get fatigued and it doesn't really let your imagination flow, because you have this anxiety of like trying to get things done. When you relax, take a bit of time off, play games or watch a film or go out and play sports, then something suddenly hits you and you can rush off and implement it the next day. So, do you have any hobbies? Do you play video games? Have you tried these ones? Are you going to try them? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're watching this video outside of my Facebook group, then make sure you join in the community. You can get your questions answered. You get daily videos like this where I will help you, motivate you and teach you how to build an Amazon business that can replace your income. Maybe you can spend more time playing video games and spend 5 to 10 hours a week on your business. Who knows? Totally up to you. That's the awesome thing about having a business, right? You can decide how you spend your week. Alright, thanks so much for watching the video and we'll speak soon.